The heavenly palace was hushed, a rare quiet settling over the grand halls. The emperor's brow was furrowed, his eyes heavy with concern as he looked at Runyu. "How could you be so careless?" he asked, voice low but laced with authority. "Do you mean to harm Shufang?" Runyu's expression flickered, surprise, confusion, even a hint of fear, but he quickly composed himself. Before he could respond, Shufang stepped forward, his gaze steady, a faint aura of fire surrounding him. "Father, I beg you to listen," Shufang said calmly. "The events of that day have been misunderstood. I will explain everything." He moved slowly, as though every step carried the weight of responsibility. "I did not intend any harm toward Runyu. My actions were forced upon me, a result of circumstances beyond my control. I fell into the wilderness, struck by the ice spike. My injuries, my presence there, all were manipulated by someone else's hand. I present my wounds now," he said, lifting the hem of his robe slightly to reveal the faint yet unmistakable scars across his side. "You see, I bear no ill intent. The truth is on my side." The emperor studied him, and for a moment the sternness in his eyes softened. Pain and worry mingled there. He could see it in Shufang's stance, in the way he carried himself. Someone weighed down not by arrogance, but by duty. Slowly he nodded, though still cautious. I suppose I see your sincerity," he murmured, "but you must understand, the safety of all is paramount." Meanwhile, Jinmi's eyes widened, her mind whirling with shock and disbelief. The realization struck her like lightning. This black-feathered bird she had rescued, the fragile creature she had tended so carefully, was not merely a mystical bird, but a true divine phoenix. Her heartbeat quickened as her gaze darted from the bird. No, Phoenix, to the subtle glow of his remaining aura. She licked her lips, already calculating, already scheming. How much power could she extract? How much could she gain? The thrill of possibility shimmered in her eyes. Shufang, ever observant, noticed the glint of cunning in her gaze. "Do not," he warned, a sharp edge of caution in his voice, "even think to manipulate me, little one." Even as he spoke, his mind was racing. The emperor had declared Runyu blameless, and Shufang felt an immediate, urgent need to protect him. If others believed Runyu was at fault, his honor and safety could be at stake. Without hesitation, he strode through the heavenly palace, heading straight for Runyu's chambers, intent on clarifying the truth. Meanwhile, the emperor could not hide his pride. Shufang had single-handedly repelled an army of 10,000 foes, and yet, when offered reward or honor, he had refused. "It is my duty," he stated simply. "The defense of the realm, the protection of our people, that is all that is required." His words, measured and firm, ignited a spark of irritation in the Empress. She watched him with narrowed eyes, plodding quietly. "How dare he act as if he owes no allegiance to me?" she muttered under her breath, her fingers tightening around the edge of her embroidered robe. In the depths of the palace, Liao Yuanjun had just cleansed Shufang of the lingering poison within his body. There was no time for rest, however. Urgency pressed against Shufang's every move as he sped to Xuanji Palace, intent on tending to Runyu, whose water-based aura had been gravely wounded. Though strong, Runyu's body had suffered a severe blow from the assassin that night. Only a foe of considerable strength could inflict such harm, and Shufang's mind churned with calculations. Who could it have been, and why? Runyu, lying by the water, looked up when Shufang entered, concern flickering in his eyes despite his quiet demeanor. "You have come so soon," he said, voice barely above a whisper. He could sense Shufang's aura, the fire and tension mingling with a quiet determination. Tell me, what happened that night? Why was the attack so precise? Shufeng explained, detailing every move, every strike, every hidden trick the assassin had employed. Someone familiar with water techniques, yet unafraid of the phoenix flame, Shufeng concluded. Runyu's brow furrowed as he digested this, a thoughtful frown forming. I will help you uncover the truth, he promised quietly. We will find the one behind this. Meanwhile, the Empress sat in her violet-clouded palace, a storm of worry and suspicion brewing in her mind. She had learned that Shufeng and Runyu had not grown distant, that Shufeng had even tended to Runyu's wounds. Anxiety gripped her. If this continues, she whispered to her attendants, he may take the throne, and all plans could unravel. She instructed her subordinates to watch Runyu closely, reporting at the first sign of unexpected behavior. Far above, Jinmi wandered the misty terraces of the heavenly palace. The world beneath her was shrouded in veils of cloud and mist, the soft light casting fleeting patterns over the ground. She marveled at the quiet beauty, her steps careful as she navigated the uncertain terrain. Her attention was caught by a small creature, curled into a tiny ball, snoring softly in the fog. She reached down to stroke it, and in a blink it transformed into a boy, perhaps no older than 13, dressed in flowing red silks. His smile was gentle, eyes sparkling with mischief and kindness. Curiosity twinkled in Jinmi's eyes as she spoke, recounting the story of her bond with Shufeng, the daring adventures, and the life-saving moments. Soon, Shufeng arrived, calling this boy the Moonlight Immortal. Astonishment registered in Jinmi's face. This boy, this young immortal, was Shufeng's uncle. The Moonlight Immortal invited her to visit his marital destiny mansion, and Jinmi, intrigued and eager to gather knowledge and power, accepted. Inside the mansion, Jinmi's eyes scanned strange slips of paper covered in mysterious symbols. It seemed as though someone was beseeching the immortal for help, some ancient ritual or prayer. She also inquired about the great Tao immortals, hoping to find a way to restore her friend Ruru's life. The Moonlight Immortal advised her to focus on cultivation, patiently explaining that through diligence and patience, she would one day find the path to revive her friend. Jinmi considered this, then decided to remain in the Heavenly Palace for a while, gathering spiritual power for the challenge ahead. Her explorations led her to attempt plucking flowers and harvesting nectar under the guidance of the Moonlight Immortal. She was informed of a bitter past. Thousands of years ago, the heavenly emperor of the Moonflower realm had clashed with the first flower deity. In her wrath, the first flower deity had destroyed all flowers in the heavenly realm. Only after much effort were the clouds transformed into countless flowers, restoring life to the palace grounds. Jinmi, oblivious to romance, focused solely on her cultivation, her mind buzzing with plans. At the water's edge, Runyu quietly rested, when Jinmi accidentally offended one of his mystical beasts. Misunderstanding the situation, she complimented Runyu's abilities and offered him gifts, unaware of the subtleties of celestial hierarchy. This innocent interaction highlighted her naivete, but also her warmth. In the marital destiny mansion, Jinmi's playful experiments with the red strings led to a bloom of flowers, attracting young celestial maidens from the ninth heaven. Shufeng's attendants, noticing her skill, gifted her 2 vermilion bird eggs in return, promising that they could grant an additional 300 years of spiritual energy. Without hesitation, Jinmi consumed the eggs, only to feel sudden pain as her body struggled to adapt. Panicked, she sought help from the Moonlight Immortal, but before he could fully intervene, Sufeng arrived and corrected the situation, saving her from a potentially fatal conflict. Her loss of spiritual energy, however, left her frustrated, muttering complaints under her breath as she recovered. As Jinmi learned of Sufeng's true nature as a phoenix, her curiosity and desire to gain power intensified. The Moonlight Immortal advised cunning strategies, flattery, service, even invoking her life-saving debt, but Sufeng rejected all. Finally, a special technique called gentle persuasion succeeded, allowing her to begin learning spiritual cultivation, serving as his assistant in the Hall of Cleansing. Days turned into a rhythm of rigorous study. Sufeng guided her patiently, correcting missteps, demonstrating spells, and imparting lessons. Jinmi struggled, sometimes clumsy, often overconfident, but gradually she grew more adept. The Moonlight Immortal and other celestial beings continued to guide her subtly, planting seeds of knowledge and skill. Visits from Su Zhuhei, the Phoenix's ally, tested Jinmi's loyalties. Suhei offered bribes, seeking to understand Sufeng's intentions, but Jinmi's heart remained focused on her own goals, her cleverness and adaptability becoming increasingly apparent to Sufeng. She learned the dialects of different regions, assisting in the recruitment of soldiers for celestial campaigns, impressing Sufeng with her unexpected talent. Even playful punishments, being turned into chopsticks or cabbages, served as lessons in humility and obedience, further shaping her understanding of the heavenly realm's intricate hierarchies. Over the course of 7 days, she endured these trials, her resolve hardening. When the Moonlight Immortal revealed the upcoming mobilization, Jinmi eagerly joined strategic discussions. Her insight, adaptability, and clever handling of dialect barriers proved invaluable. Sufeng, impressed with her ingenuity, began to see her not just as a mischievous student, but as a trusted ally and companion. At the same time, tensions subtly stirred among celestial factions. Some feared Sufeng's growing influence, others watched Jinmi's progress with curiosity and skepticism. Yet through all, her determination and courage shone through, laying the foundation for the challenges and triumphs yet to come.